Hello and welcome. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys a guide on how to win more games in Fortnite. So first things first, I need to make sure this is on solos because that's what I'm going to be playing for this video. And I'm going to kind of go and just kind of give you tips on kind of what I do personally throughout a match, what my favorite loadout is, and where I like to land to get the best loot during the match to put myself in the best position to win. So, starting off, I'm just going to go over here real quick so that I can pull up my map. And although there's a lot of great places to land, my favorite place to land this season is over here at Sunken Shores, and it's this house right here. And specifically at this house, I call it the blue house because the house is blue. One of the rooms holds 5 slurp barrels, so you can gain 50 shield really quickly. And then across the hall from that room, there's actually a place that holds up to 3 ammo crates. Though it is crazy random. You sometimes get 0 spawns, sometimes you get 3 spawns. It just kind of depends on the match. But it's just a really good place to start off at because you get at least a guaranteed 50 shield. You're probably going to end up getting at least 1, if not 2 ammo crates. And one of the great things about this building too is that it's big enough to where it has a couple different floor loot spawns, so you will probably be able to get a gun off of the floor. And there's a guaranteed 100% spawn rate chest in the attic of this house right here. So right there, boom, already having 1 weapon to spawn on the ground right there. And when you come right upstairs, you go into this bathroom, stand right in the middle, and break the floor because there are 5 slurp barrels all around you. And a lot of times there will be a chest even right here to where you can just instantly break. And as you can see right here, boom, right across the hall, there is this mantle shelf right here. And there are 2 spawning ammo crates. And then as we go upstairs, boom, there's that attic chest with that 100% chest spawn rate. And hey, we get a chug jug out of it. And we're just going to go ahead and pop the chug jug right quick. Now, I didn't go into this match with the Sprite equipped. I could have, but I just wanted to do this more as if, you didn't have the resources to get a Sprite. Oh! And there we go, and we get a Sprite right there. I was not expecting Lois to be right there when I slid through there. Now, I will say if you're landing here, the best Sprite you can equip, especially here at the start... Uh-oh. That was a huge lag spike right there. But if you are trying to get the best Sprite when landing here, it is most definitely going to be the water Sprite because this whole POI is underwater, or at least most of it is, so you will be gaining passive shield with it equipped. So it is very, very good. Now when we're looking at what I ideally like to carry, my preferred loadout is the Ranger pistol, the Stinger SMG, the extended focus shotgun, although that can be interchanged with the Maven auto shotgun. It just kind of depends on the match and how I'm feeling at the time on whether I'll run it or the extended focus. Now, I also, with movement, I think movement is extremely important this season, just like any season, particularly for 0 builds. Oh! Wow, look at there! Gummy water Sprite. You don't... you don't get those kind of pulls that often. I'm actually going to go ahead and pick this guy up, because I'd like to get him extracted. Actually, you know what? We can just equip him here, because there's not really a reason not to. And that goes to show how good the Earth Sprite can be right there, getting a crazy pull like that. There's actually, before we go and do anything else, there is a Sprite chest spawn in the attic of this house, so we'll go and get that. But personally for the movement, I don't like the Mythic sliders or the Epic sliders. I mean, technically the Mythic versions are pretty good. I just don't like the sliding movement. It just, a lot of times, with my slide hold time, it just ends up forcing me to slide out from behind cover, and it puts me in a really bad position a lot of times, so I personally don't like to use them. I prefer to use the overdrive grenades, and I like to keep a stack of them on me. And for the heals, the best heal in the game right now is most definitely the Chug Jug, but if I can't have a Chug Jug, I'm carrying 3 big pots on me, and well, there we go, a gold ghost sprite as well. This is well, see, this is quite interesting. There's no specials going on right now. We're just getting really lucky. Some really good pulls. So, hey, we'll take it, though. We'll take it. So we might as well go ahead and move towards an extractor at this point to take them out. And I will say the striker pump, when looking at these shotguns, it is a good shotgun to run. You can run it. I'm just not a huge fan of it. I don't feel like I get very good consistent damage with it, so I prefer to not use it. But if you find it's the right weapon for you, definitely carry it. But with that being said, I want to talk about the AR meta. Personally, the Chaos Exploder Rifle, after the nerfs it's received, it's just not that good, in my opinion. It's not really worth it, because it doesn't do a lot of damage. The explosive 80 AoE damage is also really bad on it. So it just all around, in my opinion, isn't worth carrying anymore. And the Warforged Rifle, I just haven't used it that much. You know, it's one of those weapons where I carry it and I kind of tend to be disappointed. It's okay, but when you compare it to things like the Ranger pistol, the Stinger SMG, and the Flex SMG, it just does not compare. I mean, it really doesn't. Those SMGs, the SMG meta is just so good right now. It's just not worth carrying them whatsoever. But I'm just kind of hiding in a bush right now because we are extracting. You know, it is loud. People will come towards this, and I just want to make sure that we're able to get these sprites not only extracted, but we don't get just, you know, caught off guard. And, you know, there's not a lot of cover here, which is not ideal around this one. Like, this is probably, in my opinion, one of the worst extracting locations because of the fact there is no cover around. So I wouldn't want to stay around here. I'm actually going to pick up the Flex SMG 2 right now just to carry a third weapon. Now, a lot of times in Zero builds, in past seasons, you only wanted to carry 2 weapons. I've been carrying 3 because now we have the extra shockwave that replenishes itself. And a lot of times, I don't really feel like I need an extra slot for movement anymore. And somebody is landing right here by us, so I want to get in a little bit different of a position here. Ooh, they have a hunting rifle. So that's super fun. And there we go, taking him out. I will say that was definitely not my cleanest fight of all time, but we get the elimination right there, so we will take that as we go. Now, the big thing for me now, being that we're kind of later into a match, I'm trying to kind of find the best spot in zone, or at least the best spot that I can put myself in. Now, I'm not for sure if that place plays music, but I just heard a song right there. So, I'm not... I guess it plays music. I'm not too familiar with Heatwave Harbor, so that's a little bit unfortunate, but you know, it's not going to be in zones, so we're not going to have too much of a problem with it. I just want to kind of sit up here, claim height, and just kind of look around. And right there, this is why. Because somebody's right there, we get a lot of good opening damage on them, and hopefully we can get the elim with the Flex SMG here. Not the best shots there towards the end of that fight, but we do get the elimination now, and we are inside the top 10. So at this point in time, it is crucial that we are trying to find the best spot into zone. And what I like to do is if I'm in zone, I want to sit here, let zone close, and I'm not really going to push fights. I just kind of want to sit here and let other people make the mistake, sit up here, kind of look around, sit on height, see where other people are at, gauge where the best rotation will be. Because once the zone closes, I'm probably not going to be inside of zone, so I need to be looking to where I can go next. I have a car, I have a launch pad. Now, I'm gonna actually take the launch pad because my car doesn't have that much gas left in it. I might take the car. Maybe, it depends on where zone goes, but we have 49 seconds left, and we're in a big zone, especially for 9 people right now. There will probably not be another couple of eliminations until the zone's fully closed, and the next one has started. And everybody's kind of forced into that next zone. Once that happens, people are going to come together, and that's when it's going to be a little bit hectic. And that's why it's very important that you rotate very well, especially in in-games, because in solos, a lot of times what will end up happening is when you do try to rotate in, you will end up getting shot at. And you need to make sure that you, for one thing, don't take a lot of damage upon rotation, but you also don't want to rotate onto somebody and have already taken 100 damage, and the next thing you know, you're sitting there looking at somebody with 100 damage already taken, and you're in a really awkward position. So it's very important to make safe rotations. And actually, since we pull zone right here, we're just going to stick right here. And I'm just moving around a lot because the hunting rifle is in this season. And for those who don't know, at the green rarity, a headshot does not eliminate you, but it will leave you on a total of 13 health. But every single other rarity in the game, it is a one-shot headshot. So it is extremely important to keep moving around so that way you are not an easy target and fall victim to the hunting rifle. Thankfully, there are no other guns like that in the game, but if your opponent does have good aim, they could punish you for standing still for an extended period of time. And one of the big things, too, in the spot that I'm in, if I had to rotate from this spot, I would get in the car, I would hop over into the passenger seat because nobody can actually see you well, they could see you in the car, but you won't be on the visual sound effects when you're in the passenger seat of the car. The car headlights will be on, so that is a visual cue that you are in the car, but they won't see the actual circle visual audio cue of a car on the map. Now, it's important to go into a car, if you're rotating like this, to kind of sit in here because this is a lot of protection. There's a good chance somebody won't see you in the car, especially with how we have it positioned here at the very top of the mountain. But you could kind of look at the map and see, okay, where do I want to go into zone next? Where's the best position that I can go to put myself in a great spot to get the win? And I'm actually just going to sit in the car, too, at this point in time. There's not really a reason to move. There's not really a reason to push people. If you feel extremely confident in your skills, you could be uber aggressive towards the in-games. And although I feel confident in my abilities to win, I also don't particularly like putting myself in a compromised position, especially towards the end of games, because there's not really a reason for me to go pushing people right now. I'm in zone, I have height. Why would I go and push somebody else when I have much better position? And that's the big thing, too, is if you're looking to get more wins, you have to play the game thinking about, okay, how do I put myself in the best position to win? And that's the main thing that will get you more wins, is you have to think about your next move. You can't think about what you're doing right now. You need to be thinking ahead. You need to be thinking forward. Because currently, right now, there's 25 seconds in the zone before the zones start closing again. So at this point in time, you need to be checking your map. Okay, well, am I in zone? I am in zone. But let's just say, if you're not in zone and you're over here in Calamari Canyon, you need to be seeing, okay, where do I want to rotate into zone to get to be protected from other players and to be able to scout out where other players are? And so if I was over here, I would probably try to go in right here at this edge of zone. Maybe I would try to push a little bit more center and get to this big rock right here. That could be a good position. But for me, being in zone still, we're at the edge of zone. We might as well keep sitting right here and just kind of waiting. Just seeing where these other players are at, just kind of waiting and watching. And that's the thing, is you want to lie and wait a lot of times in solos. You don't necessarily have to camp it out. You don't have to do nothing towards end games, but just kind of lie and wait. Pick and choose your battles. You see somebody rotating, get a couple tags on them. Take 100 shield off of them. You don't necessarily have to push into that person. A lot of times, the best thing you can do in in-game is, if you have really good position, is hold your position and actually just try to get some quick tags on people. Waste their heals. Put them at a disadvantage to where towards the end of the game, you have heals. You're full health, and then they aren't full health. They don't have full shields. That is some of the best things you can do to give yourself the best opportunity to win. And although, sure, maybe playing like this isn't the most exhilarating gameplay of all time, this is a great way to put yourself in a really good spot. And as you can see, we're already into the top 3 right now. And that person right there that just got the limb has now gotten the last 2 limbs, and those limbs went off within just about 10 seconds of each other, and that's one of the biggest reasons why you have to be careful when rotating. And actually, right here, since we're fixing to have to rotate, I want to go to this building right here on the edge. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of sit here and lie and wait. There's no reason to rotate right now. We're going to let the zone come to us, and once the zone gets to our back, that's when we're going to move. That's when we're going to be forced to go and rotate in. And when the zone's to our back, it's going to be the furthest away to our front, so it's going to allow us to get further into zone, which is exactly what we want. But back to that point I was making about that person that got those limbs within 10 seconds of each other, a lot of times in solo in-games, you will find that you will get third-partied extremely badly. So it is super important to be very careful when you take fights. And apparently, they probably ended up getting that first initial limb and probably didn't take a lot of damage, so they were probably full health going into that second fight, which allowed them to be in a really, really great spot. And right there, we see somebody is up on top of the cube. I'm pretty sure that they call that the cube. I'm not really for sure. But either way, they were up there. So we want to just kind of rotate back around the back side of this building, because I don't want them to end up seeing us right now. My goal is to try to get up around to the roof of this building, but doing it in a very safe way. I don't want to give them any visual cues to us. I don't want to open myself up to taking a lot of damage really quickly. And, well, maybe, I mean, I could have been wrong. Maybe the guy was not up there, but I think he was. But we've got a little bit of, oh, right here, perfect, perfect, perfect. So we've got one person shooting down there towards the bottom. We see him running. Now, I'm not going to give away my position. And the reason for that, now, here we go. We're going in now. So we want to get a third party on this. Right here behind them, they aren't ready for us. And there we go. And that right there is how you earn a victory royale during this season of Fortnite Runners. Thank you guys for watching, and y'all have a great day. If y'all like this video, please like, subscribe, and comment. Bye.